Hi Nursery, Mrs Starkey here. Now our story is about Rapunzel. Now can you remember, where did the witch put Rapunzel? Where did she have to live for a long time? That's right, she had to live in a tower. Now this got me thinking of all the different types of houses that I see on my way to work. So I thought that I would show you some different pictures of different houses. Okay, let me share my screen so you can see all of the different houses that I am talking about. Okay, so the first house is bungalow. Bungalow. Now this is just like a house, however, it's short. And if you look, it doesn't have any stairs in it. That's why it's really short. So you will still have your bedrooms and your living room and your kitchen and your bathroom, but it'll be on the same level. You don't have any stairs to go up. So some of you may go upstairs to go to bed, but in this house, you wouldn't, because it's a bungalow and it has no stairs. Bungalow has no stairs. Fantastic. Let's see what's next. Now this is called a cottage. A cottage. Now cottages are normally very, very old. And if you can see, his roof is a little bit different. It doesn't have tiles. It has what's called a thatched cottage roof. And it means that it's like straw and sticks and it's all pushed together to make a roof. And this is a cottage. Now this house looks like a normal house, but if you have a look next to the house, you can see lots and lots of fields. So I think that this house is a farmhouse. Farmhouse. Now this means that they live in a house which is on a farm. So it means that they have lots of animals that they have to look after every day. So they would have like sheep and cows, maybe horses, lots of different animals that they have to look after, and they live in their farmhouse. Flat. Flat. Now this is a block of flats. As you can see, there's lots and lots of doors in this block of flats. Now that means that you have one family living in one flat, another family living on the top, and then somebody else living on the top. You have somebody next to you, somebody maybe beneath you. So it's really exciting because you've got lots of different families living in the same building, but you all have your own little flat. Fantastic. Now this house, you can see there's 1, 2 doors. So that means that this is 2 houses stuck together. And this is what we call semi-detached. So you have one house and then you have another house and they're touching each other. You can see they're touching in the middle. So that means they're semi-detached. Okay, now this house is called a detached house. Now, how many doors can you see on this house? That's right, I can just see 1 door. So that means there's just 1 house there. And if you have a look, it's all on its own, isn't it? There's no houses touching. So it's just on its own. So it's detached. Now, how many doors can you see on here? Can you count them? I think you're right. I'm going to check. 1, 2, 3. You're right. There's 3 doors. So that means there's 1 house, and then there's another house touching, and then another house touching. And I think it continues. Lots and lots of houses are in a long row and they're touching each other. Now, this is what we call terraced. Terraced. Fantastic. Okay, now this got me thinking of what different types of houses you could live in. Does anybody know what this is called? It's called a caravan. Caravan. Now, the exciting thing about a caravan is that you can put it behind your car, drive your car and pull your caravan along so you can go anywhere you want to. That's exciting, isn't it? Caravan. I wonder if any of you have stayed in a caravan before. Maybe you could tell me. Now, this looks funny. What do you think this is? It does look like a boat, and it is a type of boat. It's called a canal boat. Now, some people live in canal boats, which means that their house is on the water. And again, a little bit like the caravan, you can start this boat up and you can drive the boat and you can go anywhere you want to. So you can move your house anywhere. How exciting. I wonder where you would go if you lived in a canal boat. Now look at this house. Now this house looks very different to the houses I have just shown you. Now these next houses are what we see all around the world. So we wouldn't see them here where you live, but you might see them on the telly or in books. Now look at this house. What's this house made out of? You're right, it does look a little bit like sticks, doesn't it? And it is like straw, and they build the house made of straw. That's very clever, isn't it? So it's like a little hut, isn't it? Let's see some other houses from around the world. Where is this house? It's up in the tree, isn't it? It's like a tree house. They're actually living in a tree house. That's very cool. Just think of all the things you could see if you lived up high in the trees. Now this one is called a yurt. A yurt. Now it's a little bit like a tent, but it's much, much bigger. And again, this is very cool. It's in hot countries and you can just take it down, put it on some horses, go somewhere else and rebuild your yurt. So again, you have a house that can be anywhere. You can move it along. Yurt. This would be really cool, wouldn't it? Let's have a look. Oh, now, can you see any houses in here? Me too. You have to look really carefully, don't you? Because they're the same colour, aren't they, as the rocks? Now, these houses are made out of, like, the mountain behind it. They carved them out of the mountain. I thought that was very, very cool. Oh, now what about this house? How is this house different? It's in the water, isn't it? Now, do you think this house moves like the canal boats? No, it doesn't. As you can see, it's on like big logs and they're called stilts. So these houses are built in the water. So they don't move, they stay in the water and they're on stilts. So the water doesn't go up to the house. Very clever, isn't it? Oh, does anyone know what this is called? You're right, it looks like a tent. It's called a wigwam. Wigwam. And again, it can be packed down and it can be carried somewhere else and then they put their wigwam back up and live in it. Now look at this house. It looks a little bit like the ones on the mountain, doesn't it? Now, do you know what this is made out of? It's not made out of bricks. It doesn't look like bricks. If you have a really close look, what does it look like? Well done if some of you said it. It's made from mud. So they put mud and sand all over the side of the house and then it dries and it's really hard. I thought that was very cool. Oh, now, talking of cool, what is this? That's right, it's called an igloo. And what do you make an igloo out of? Out of snow. Fantastic. Wow. Well done, Nursery. I hope you enjoy looking at all those different houses. Now, I have some challenges for you to do. I want you to see what type of house you live in, okay? You might not remember the names, and that's fine. So you need to draw what your house looks like, and then you need to tell me what type of house you live in. And then I want you to either look back at the pictures that I've shown you and think, what house would I like to live in? Okay, now I wouldn't like to live in the igloo because I don't like being cold. I would like to live somewhere hot. So maybe I would like to live in a yurt because I can pack my house up and move it somewhere else. So that's quite cool. Maybe you can think of something completely different, or or make something up. That would be really cool. Okay, so you can draw your pictures of your house, and then you can draw a picture of where you would like to live. Okay, and then you can tell me on tapestry why you would like to live in that house. Now, I can't wait to see your amazing ideas. See if you can think of something really cool. Okay, and I will see you soon. Bye, Nursery.